So, you want to continue the story of the woman who's on that interstate drive. She had car troubles and got stranded in the middle of nowhere. Luckily, someone picked her up. Now she's at a hotel, safe and sound. Couldn't be any worse, right? As Holly laid down to try and sleep, the sound of running water was keeping her awake. As she turned her head, she caught a glance of a man standing at her window staring in. Her heart began to pound as she watched him walk away. She thought to herself, call it foresight, but something was very off about this place. She couldn't help shake the feeling that something wasn't right. The feeling of tiredness was overcoming by anxiety. A hot cup of coffee could help, she thought. She walked out of the room, quickly turning around and locking the door behind her to make sure no person went into her room while she was out. She walked across the parking lot. She knew she saw the vending machines for the drinks before, but as she got closer to the rooms on the other side, she saw what looked like an espresso machine. She could hear the person in room number 4 talking, but she ignored it and paid for her espresso. She could hear the running mouth on the TV blurting and talking to itself in the room beside her. But her coffee came out, and she quickly drank it before crossing the parking lot again. Her eyes faded to black as she awoke in the middle of the parking lot. Her vision slanted, blurry, twisting and turning. Her head was pounding as she could hear the repeating echo of the TV sounds. They were distorted and twisted. Her head felt like it was spinning, like a carousel, spinning so fast though that you could not hold on. She made it back to her room, barely making it with the number 9 on her door. She stumbled over to the side of her bed and laid down, her vision fading to black once again. She awoke at 3:18 a.m. She was sedated. There was a ringing beside her, a sound annoying. She sat up. She tried to reach for the phone, but there was nothing. Her head was filled with annoying buzzes and bings as she tried to pick up the phone again. She walked around the room, wondering what had happened to her. Her vision slightly twisted and turned. A bright red burning sensation scarred her iris as she could just catch it out of the side of her vision. She peeked out the window again and saw a man approaching.
It's Joe from the front desk. Open the door. Didn't I specifically tell you not to wake anyone up? I have complaints. What are you making all those goofy noises for? Whatever it is, just keep it down, miss. Is that why your eyes are all red?
She mentioned the coffee machine to the hotel owner.
Are you messing with me right now? We don't have no coffee machine here.
She pointed into the distance of where she walked.
Here. I've had enough of you crazy goons here. For once, I thought we had a sober guest, but I guess I'm the crazy one here. I hate my job.
She walked across the parking lot. The bright lights of the street lamps were the only things illuminating the area now. So early in the morning, the darkness of the night was overwhelming. Even the moon couldn't illuminate the grounds anymore. She walked to where the espresso machine was, but only now an empty can of paint sat. Joe walking up behind her. She tried to explain the situation to him.
Go back to the room. I said go back. Now.
Joe told her to go back to his room. He was stern and serious.
There should be some medication in your room that will offer you some relief. Check the table by the TV.
She walked back to her room. He'd mentioned that there would be medication for her in there. It would relieve that burning sensation in her eyes. She looked around the motel and it seemed so eerie, so creepy. She just wanted back to her room, to be safe and to go to sleep. She found the pills and took them, but she needed water. Her dry mouth would not let her swallow them. She took the pills and drank the water, her dry mouth feeling like a evaporated pond refilled again by the fresh springs of the melting mountaintops. She immediately laid back in bed, hoping she could fall asleep again, this time without being sedated or drugged. Her mind was wandering, though. Why had this happened to her? Where did the coffee machine go? Was it even coffee she had? She didn't know, but she just wanted to sleep. She wanted this trip to be over. She didn't want to come back here. She didn't want to be here anymore. She wanted to be home or on a plane, but she couldn't sleep. She stood up to a flashing light. It was like somebody had taken a picture. It was unusual. She peeked out but did not see anyone. She laid back in bed, staring out that window. A person walking by the window. She thought that he was stopping at her door. Panic was filling up in her chest. Her heart was drowning in fear. It was thumping, but she couldn't resist but get up and peek. She went to the door.
Please open the door. I need help.
What do you want?
I need your help. Please open the door.
We were begging for help, but she wasn't going to open that door for anyone.
I know you're in there.
He started to knock. He knew that she was there. She could see him standing at the door from the window, but they did not stop knocking. She was scared. She was backing up. Where could she go? The bathroom? She didn't know.
I just need to talk to you.
She told him to leave.
I swear, I'm not a cop.
And then she started this
A pretty
slam
lady,
on the door with his
come
fist.
on.
He was trying to break it down. She quickly ran to the closet and hid there. She didn't know where else to go. She sat and then the door broke open. A man walked in, all white suit.
Where are you, you little...
Maybe it was some sort of jeans that were similar color to his shirt, but she could just see him through the small slats of the closet door.
I know you're here
Her
somewhere.
heart was pounding. She wanted to scream, but she was scared. She was trying to keep quiet, only breathing through her nose. As he got closer, it got worse, and she stepped farther back into the closet.
Where are you?
She was happy she didn't hide in the bathroom, because that's where he went. She was panicking. She thought about making a run for it, but then she saw Joe. He hid outside the door. As the man came out, he punched him in the face, and he fell to the ground. They struggled, and she ran. To this day, she found it really weird that the manager inferred not to get the police involved, as it would affect the motel's reputation, and let go of the situation, even though he had came to her defense. She believes that the town could have been home to a cult or a drug ring, possibly something even worse. Tommy arrived with the car after what felt like a year to her. After that, she never went on long road trips again. She would always take a plane. Well, it seems like this story worked out in Holly's favor. But don't get me wrong, they don't always. So make sure when you're on those long road trips, you're cautious and safe. Otherwise, you could end up like Holly. or worse. Hey, thanks for coming to watch the final episode of Fears to Fathom, Episode 2, The Norwood Hitchhike. We have a lot of other stories, so make sure you check them out on the channel, and if you haven't already, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel. More importantly than anything though, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.